My name is Rachel Carter, and I never realized one careless joke could destroy the most important relationship in my life. I live in Austin, Texas, where everything feels bigger. The sky, the roads, the dreams people chase. For me, my dream had always been love. Real love. The kind you see in movies where two people look at each other and know, without a doubt, they're home. And for a while, I thought I had that with Daniel Hayes. Daniel wasn't flashy. He wasn't the loudest guy in the room, or the kind to show off. But he was steady, reliable, and kind. He held doors open, remembered how I liked my coffee, and always made sure I felt safe walking to my car after work. We had been dating for almost 3 years, and though we hadn't tied the knot yet, I thought we were heading there. Everyone thought so. My parents adored him. My friends teased me about when he would propose. But like so many stories, ours wasn't ruined by a lack of love. It was ruined by words. One night, during a gathering with friends, I made a joke. A joke that wasn't funny. A joke that I thought would make people laugh. But instead, it made the man I loved pack his things and walk away. It was a Saturday night in late spring. My best friend Megan had invited us all over for a backyard barbecue. The Texas air was warm. The smell of grilled burgers floated through the yard, and laughter filled the space. We were all sitting in a circle, playing one of those silly games where you ask each other embarrassing questions. Someone asked me who my dream guy was growing up. I laughed and said, well, Daniel was never my first choice. He was more like my backup plan. Everyone laughed. The kind of lighthearted laughter that comes when people think you're just joking. But when I glanced at Daniel, he wasn't laughing. His smile had vanished, replaced by a look of quiet hurt. I should have stopped right there. I should have taken his hand, kissed his cheek, and said, I'm kidding. You're my everything. But I didn't. Instead, I shrugged and added, I mean, every girl has a list, right? Daniel just happened to stick around the longest. Laughter again. My friends thought it was harmless fun. But that night, when the laughter died down and the party ended, Daniel wasn't himself. On the way home, the car was silent. Usually, Daniel filled the drive with small talk about the food, the music, or the people we had seen. But this time, he just gripped the steering wheel and stared ahead. Finally, I broke the silence. You're mad about what I said, aren't you? He didn't look at me. Rachel, do you even realize what those words meant? I sighed. It was a joke, Daniel. Everyone knew I was kidding. He finally glanced at me, his eyes full of something I couldn't quite read. Hurt, disappointment, maybe even betrayal. It didn't feel like a joke, he said quietly. It felt like the truth. And if it was the truth, I don't know if I can live with being someone's backup plan. I rolled my eyes, thinking he was overreacting. You're being dramatic. You know I love you. But he didn't respond. And that silence was louder than any argument. The next morning, I woke up to find Daniel sitting on the edge of the bed, a packed suitcase by his feet. Panic shot through me. Daniel, what are you doing? He took a deep breath, his voice steady but heavy. I've always given you everything I had, Rachel. My time, my loyalty, my heart. And last night, I realized something. You've never really given me the same. My throat went dry. That's not true, he cut me off. You called me your backup plan. Maybe it was a joke. Maybe it wasn't. But the fact that you could even say that in front of everyone tells me how little you value me. I don't want to be someone's second choice. I want to be their first. Their only. Tears blurred my vision. Daniel, please don't do this. I was just being stupid. I didn't mean it. He shook his head. I can't keep trying to prove my worth to someone who doesn't see it. And with that, he picked up his suitcase, walked out the door, and left. The days after Daniel left were a blur. My friends called, telling me he was probably just upset, that he would come back once he cooled off. But weeks passed, and the space between us only grew wider. I texted him. He didn't reply. I called him. Straight to voicemail. Megan finally told me she had seen him at a cafe downtown, with someone else. A woman I didn't know. They weren't holding hands, but the way he looked at her, it was the same way he used to look at me. It hit me like a punch. Daniel wasn't waiting for me to apologize. He was moving on. I replayed that night over and over in my mind. The laughter, the look on his face, the silence in the car, the suitcase by the bed. All because I wanted to make people laugh. All because I thought words didn't matter. But they did. I learned the hard way that when you love someone, you can't belittle them. Not even as a joke. Love is about building someone up, not tearing them down for a laugh. And I had torn down the one man who had given me everything. Now he was gone. It's been almost 2 years since that night. Daniel never came back. I heard through mutual friends that he got engaged recently, to that same woman Megan saw him with at the cafe. I smiled when I heard the news, even as tears slid down my face, because she would give him what I couldn't. She would make him feel like the first choice he always deserved to be. And me? I'm left with the lesson. If you're lucky enough to have someone who loves you, don't take them for granted. Don't joke about their worth. Don't make them feel like they're just the backup plan, because they might just take you at your word. And they might move on before you realize what you've lost. I thought calling him just the backup plan was a joke. But he took it literally. And now he's gone. Not because he didn't love me, but because I didn't respect the love he gave me.